Welcome to Inspiring Narratives, your favorite channel for uplifting stories, renewed hope, and cultivating a deeper connection with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Discover with me the transformative power of faith, dua, and dhikr by the grace of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and find out how turning to Allah can lead you to miraculous changes in your life. Let's start by sending peace and blessings on our beloved Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Allahumma salli wa sallim wa barik ala Sayyidina Muhammad wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. I'm hoping you are all in an increased state of faith and excited for the challenge tomorrow. Yes, we start tomorrow. I know some of you have already started and I love your enthusiasm. May Allah bless you all and grant you all your wishes. Ameen Ya Rab, we're in this together. Since that day, I've been completely committed. I now know the taste of happiness, the taste of satisfaction. Glory be to Allah, He changed my state from one to another. I used to hear stories and situations that honestly I didn't believe, but after living and committing, I saw with my own eyes. I saw in my life the most beautiful things. I have been married for almost 6 years. Praise be to Allah. Everything in my life is good. I have no problems or worries at the moment. Alhamdulillah. But before these years, especially before my marriage, I was going through difficult circumstances, including the delay in getting married. I am a person who has passed the age of marriage according to our family standards. In our community, girls get married at 18 and the latest by 25, 26. It's very rare to find a girl who reaches 27 and is still not married. I reached 30. Honestly, no one proposed to me or thought of marrying me, even though I am educated and doing well and have a stable income. I saved up and bought a house and then rented it out. Financially, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala had blessed me, alhamdulillah. I was contributing to the household expenses despite my father refusing. My father and mother always prayed for my happiness and well-being. My delayed marriage was a topic of discussion. People used to say, she's beautiful, has a job, a house, and is satisfied. Why isn't she getting proposals? There must be something wrong with her. Something we don't know. But by Allah, there was nothing wrong with me. It was my fate, written by Allah. Alhamdulillah. I had a younger sister who was younger than me by 5 years, who was married with a child, and another younger sister who was engaged, and they did the kitab. We are 3 sisters. She was due to get married in the summer. And this situation that happened to me happened in the winter. I'm not going to lie, it bothered me. My father would tell me, Allah will compensate you. My daughter, don't worry. I pray for you to have goodness and happiness. Your mother and I are praying for you. You are a kind person. He always spoke words of kindness to me, and his words would motivate me to be even better. I would be hopeful in Allah that Allah would compensate me for my patience. There was a particular person I thought about, but he got married and travelled. I didn't know anything about him. I didn't know he was married until recently. I had wished for him to be my husband, but it wasn't meant to be. During this period, my sister who had a child was suffering from health problems. No one knew what was wrong with her. She was losing weight and had many issues. Every doctor we saw had a different opinion, and no one could accurately diagnose her condition, meaning her disease wasn't known. My father had a friend who knew quite a bit about religious matters. He advised my father that she should send peace and blessings on our beloved Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, the Salat al-Ibrahimiyya in particular. Seeing as the doctors haven't come to a solution and nobody until now has been able to diagnose her, so inshallah with Salat al-Ibrahimiyya the problem will be resolved. Or worst case scenario, you'll know what's the reason for this illness, inshallah. So my sister started making dhikr daily and we all made dua for her. When she became sick, my father asked her to come and stay with us so that we could look after her and take care of her. With this sickness, she wasn't able to stand up properly or go to the bathroom by herself. She needed someone to help her get dressed, brush her hair. She needed help with everything. She wasn't even able to carry her son. From the first week, subhanallah, how the Salat al-Ibrahimiyya impacted her life in a huge way. Everyone was surprised. We woke up in the morning and saw her in the kitchen making tea. My mother woke up in shock. My father woke up not knowing whether to cry or laugh. My father performed a prostration of gratitude to Allah that he saw my sister standing up alone. My sister said, "Woke up 3 hours ago and felt a sudden surge of energy run through my body. I feel so much better in myself." Alhamdulillah, after that, she started recovering day by day. Within 2 weeks, she returned to her home completely healthy with no issues whatsoever. This incident made me commit to regularly sending peace and blessings on our beloved Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, with various intentions in mind, including thoughts of that man. I thought to myself, oh Allah, he is now married. How am I still thinking about him? Oh Allah, if we are meant to be together, make it easy. And if it's not meant to be, then please remove him from my mind completely. Also, the whole situation of my delayed marriage was bothering me. I started sending peace and blessings on our beloved Prophet Muhammad. 1 month went by, 2 months, 3 months. I reached 6 months and I was committed to sending peace and blessings on our beloved Prophet. I would say, Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ala ali Muhammad. كما صليت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم إنك حميد مجيد اللهم بارك على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما باركت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم إنك حميد مجيد. I would say this about 500 times every day. I would sometimes do my dhikr after Isha prayer, before bedtime, or sometimes after Fajr. I wouldn't let a day go by without completing my daily dhikr. I just want to say a side note here. Again, I want to stress the number of repetitions doesn't matter as long as you are present. We're going to do 100 this month. Don't think you have to do 500. The number doesn't matter. As long as you are present when making this dua and when you're making dhikr, sending blessings on our beloved Prophet, and you have good expectations of Allah, that is all that matters, inshallah. She goes on to say, after 6 months, I received 2 proposals, one from the family and the other from outside of the family. I was surprised, 2 proposals at once. However, I didn't feel comfortable with them. I knew that Allah had a better plan for me. Everyone was surprised, thinking I'd agree with anyone who came to propose to me. I would think to myself, now that I know the solution to all the difficult problems, the answering of prayers and the ease in all situations is with Salat al-Ibrahimiyya. Why would I rush? I've been patient all this time and I have faith in Allah that He will bless me with a marriage that will make me happy. That's why I didn't accept those who proposed to me. I pictured that Allah will bless me with a man who will be a source of comfort, who would appreciate and value me, a person who will compensate me for all the years that have passed. Subhanallah, Allah knows everything inside of us. He knows our innermost desires and wishes, our thoughts, our dreams that we sometimes fail to put into words. Subhanallah, after 7 months exactly, I was fully aware of the hours and the minutes and the seconds. After 7 months, the man I had been thinking about returned, the man I had wished and hoped to marry years ago. I was surprised to learn that he had been separated from his wife for 1.5 years now. From what I understood was that they didn't see eye to eye. They were not compatible, so they decided to move on. This man, I never told him about my feelings or gave him any reason to think I liked him or was thinking about him. I swear by Allah these feelings were kept inside of me and I never spoke about them. This man came and spoke to my family and told them that he wants to marry me. Subhanallah, what I thought was impossible came true. We got married, we now have a child and I'm pregnant with my second. After committing to Salat al-Ibrahimiyya every day 500 times, anything in my mind and anything I wish for, even if I don't know how it will happen or sometimes it seems impossible, subhanallah, I see it happening in front of my own eyes. And it's just made easy with Salat al-Ibrahimiyya. For example, I'll give you a few examples that happened to me. I wanted to travel to certain places, especially that my colleagues at work would talk about it continuously, this specific country, and say how they went and that it was a lovely place. I would put my faith, so I had a desire that I wanted to go. I would put my faith in Allah and I would trust in Allah and I would make dhikr. And then one day, my husband came back from work and asked me, "What do you think about traveling to such and such place?" I couldn't believe it. I performed prostration of gratitude to Allah and I was so grateful. And on another occasion, there was a conflict with my husband and his family. The problem was big and it had lasted 1 whole month and the attempts to resolve it had failed. That night, I started making dhikr with the intention that all goes back to normal. Wallahi, after 3 days, everything had been solved and they were on good terms and their relationship was even better than before. Another situation I experienced was with my mother-in-law. She had to go in for surgery. However, the doctors couldn't perform the surgery because her blood pressure was too high. She was in critical condition. I advised my husband's siblings to make salawat on our beloved Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and I did too. I swear by Allah that the same night her blood pressure was normal and they performed the operation the next morning. MashaAllah, she is doing really well now and back to her normal self. And it's enough that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has filled people's hearts with acceptance and love towards both me and my husband. Everyone we meet tells us, I feel like I've known you for a long time. Glory be to Allah, there is acceptance in our lives, ease in sustenance, anything we desire happens. Another incident happened after Ramadan. My sister-in-law had a conflict with her husband and he took her children from her and they were on the brink of divorce. It seemed like a hopeless case. Many people interfered, trying to ruin her life and cause her to separate from her husband. It was a mess. It was a very difficult and seemingly unsolvable situation. I advised her to send peace and blessings on our beloved Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. I told her to leave everything to Allah. Stop worrying about worldly matters and people and commit to sending peace and blessings on our beloved Prophet. She started doing this and within 1 week, her issue was completely resolved. Her husband changed 180 degrees. Since the beginning of their marriage, she had been patient because her husband would listen to his family and others, leaving no privacy in their life. She had always wished to live in a separate house, but her father-in-law was strict, and her husband would never go against his mother's wishes, even if she was wrong. After a month, he bought her a house of her own, and they moved in, living comfortably and happily. She thanks Allah and tells me how grateful she is that I advised her to make dhikr. Now, whenever she faces a difficult situation or can't solve a problem, she immediately goes to sending peace and blessings on our beloved Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Her husband's attitude changes instantly and any tension or any anger disappears as if nothing happened. Anyone who knows me and follows this advice tells me that the results are amazing. Truly, Salat al-Ibrahimiyya brings relief from worries, improves conditions, eases affairs, increases sustenance, and brings everlasting happiness. It has solved our problems and brought so many blessings into our life. If we focus for about half an hour or an hour, however long you have, not seeking solutions from people around us, but turning to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and making dhikr, all of your problems will disappear.